And they're pretty strict.
Spiritual, having those three guys back out there. What did that mean for the whole group?
Huge boost. You know, we weren't sure till 35 on the clock that they were going to play. So, yeah, and it's just we're a different team, right? And having another ball handler out there, I know DG's obviously he's playing through some stuff, but just that our ability to get the ball over half court. Game 2 we lost in Cleveland because we really struggle with their pressure. So great to have him back. Great to have another ball handler. And I thought Evan was great. Gave us boost, obviously, on the boards. So, yeah.
And then more about Mobley, too. I mean, he looks like the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Playing on a sprained ankle that way. I mean, were you almost surprised just how well he moved and the way he was able to play?
Yeah, I guess you just get adrenaline going. And listen, those guys, we're down 2-0. I mean, it was kind of now or never. You're banged up and you're hurting. You got, swollen ankle, and it was. They had to test it today, and they showed a lot of fortitude. We got 1 day recovery here, so it's gonna be a quick turnaround. So just hope they can turn it around and be ready to go.
You kind of mentioned it with the second ball handler, but Donovan in the fourth quarter just looked much fresher, much better. How did you think that benefited him?
Yeah, it helps so much. He's not bringing it up every time. I mean, it's this is the new NBA, like picking up full court the whole game. It's impressive what they do, but it gives Don a big break. And I thought he was masterful. I don't use that word hardly ever. He was masterful in the way he controlled the game, and not passing, making the right decision, defending. Probably for me, best performance of the year. I don't know what the numbers look like, but he really played with a great kind of mindset, great head on his shoulders, super high IQ.
And the game seemed to just flip in the second quarter, obviously. And you guys' zones gave them a lot of trouble. Just kind of what was the thought process decision there, and why do you think that gave them so much?
I think we held them to 13 points in the second. I think the zone helped us. We got into foul trouble, and we were almost forced to go to the zone to protect those guys. And we took some risks, right? We playing DG with 3 fouls. Gets to 4, and then Don gets his 4th. We were, but it turned out, ironically, the zone kind of definitely helped us.
Kenny, what did you think Max brought to the game tonight?
He's becoming our forceful leader. I haven't seen him so aggressive leadership-wise. I haven't seen him at this level. I mean, I don't have 5 years with him, but he's really kind of taken a hold of huddles, film sessions. He was spirit's phenomenal, and he's on guys like you miss an assignment. He's kind of our enforcer. Right now.
And then as far as the zone goes, we obviously saw you guys play zone a lot during the year, but it didn't necessarily always look like that specific zone you played tonight.
Yeah.
How come you decided to go with that one versus the more common one we've seen?
Yeah, just because of their 5-out spacing. Our guys, you're right. We're comfortable with one we've been playing, but after watching a lot of film, we decided we can't play our traditional zone against them. We had to kind of match to their 5-out stuff.
Yeah,
Great
Kenny,
job.
in addition to the zone, the other thing was it seemed like you guys were really committed to denying Tyrese's touches. It seemed like Max was denying him on jump ball, even on one
Yeah.
play. Can you talk about that part a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious kind of part of the game plan. We gotta limit his touches. He's the head of the snake, and it's extreme. That's just where we are. I think the first kind of 2 games he had his way. I thought in game 2 we did a better job cutting him off a little. And John, it's not just a scoring or he touches it, good things happen. So and we also wanted to obviously slow their transition. I mean, it's kind of extreme. We jam him on every chance we get, so he's not getting high outlets, and he's not doing those kick aheads, and we know the numbers, what that looks like. So we're not perfect, but I think it's helped us.
Kenny.
Where's Joe?
Right here.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Hey. Offensive rebound has been a big major emphasis all year, 18-4 in this game. How big a factor was that?
We've been preaching to our guys. We went in the possession game. We started post All-Star. We made a shift. We know it equals playoff success, and the guys have bought in. And it helps when you got 2 7-footers. That helps. But we're crashing from everywhere though, and it's because Joe, we're not shooting the ball well. Again tonight, for some reason, we haven't turned that corner. So we really need it. I think we're plus 19 in the possession game. So it's rebounds, causing turnovers, and trying to take care of the ball. It's huge.
And then they cut it to, I think, 11 with about 8 minutes to go. You went back with your starting 5.
Yeah.
How important was that moment?
Yeah, and one of the rare games where our bench wasn't elite like it usually is. So, this is one of those games you got to get it, and I just felt it. I said we got to get our starters back in. I think Evan made a play after that. I think he might have been a 3-point play, but yeah, that was helpful.
Left side, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Kenny, you said before the game that the key to tonight was getting back to who you guys are, getting back to your identity. In which way do you feel like you resembled yourselves the most?
Yeah, I thought our spirit was great. Togetherness, our leadership was Donovan and Max. So those kind of the intangible things. And then I felt like we played with, our defensive identity, our force, our energy. And again, I'll give Don a letter. And then we were it was moving tonight. I know we didn't make shots like we normally do, but the ball was really cooking. Don really found the right dosage, of passing and scoring. And that, Chris, that's kind of been us all year. But really the defensive, and like Joe said, Evan was a big part of that. I thought he was phenomenal. You can see where we've upped our level. We're extending a little more, pressuring them a little more, trying to make them not do their passing. They're unbelievable with their passing game, how they ping it around. We need less pings, I told the guys, so activity on the ball is super important.
And then how would you characterize the impact that Max has had in the first 3 games? And coming into the series, did you anticipate him having such a significant role?
He's raised his level. I think he knows what getting to the finals looks like. So we're leaning on him a little bit now. He's the one he's raised his level first, and now it looks like the guys are following him. Huge having a guy with that kind of experience, playoff experience on your team. And he's just a tough son of a gun. There's no BS with him. I mean, he's just he's holding guys accountable, being tough on them.
When you've talked before, over here, Kenny.
Oh, you are.
When you've talked before about Donovan understanding moments, do you see that type of a shift throughout the entire lineup in terms of guys understanding how to best complement that in those moments?
Yeah, I mean, and he helps them with his leadership. He helps put the pieces in play. You know, where to go. You know, where guys should be when he gets an ISO. Where guys should be in the pick and roll. So he's orchestrating. Obviously, he's orchestrating his game, but he's orchestrating the pieces around him. And I thought tonight he was. I mean, probably the best I've seen him all year. Just. Especially with the pressure they were putting on him, he kind of he helps guys understand where they need to be, what they need to do. Hey, I want the screen this way. J.A. flip the screen. He's constantly coaching those guys, and it's a huge help.
And we've seen some smaller minutes from Ty. What are you seeing from him?
Man, he's he's struggling, but this is the playoffs. You go through stretches, and I love Ty. I know what he can bring. We need him. We need him in this series, especially with DG hobbled. So we're just going to keep encouraging him to be aggressive. He'll get it back because he's got extreme toughness, mental toughness. He's not going to he's going to go down swinging if he's going down. So that's we're gonna keep rolling with him.
Last one, Nate.
Hey, Kenny, I know you've talked about Donovan a couple times, but
Yeah.
specifically when they cut it to 11,
Yeah.
and you come out of the timeout and he has the turnaround jumper, the three, and then the assist to Max on the three. Did you sense him just being determined to finish this one?
Because really that first one was a very selfish shot, but he needed to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, man, because I think he had some other options, and he's like, he just felt like I need to score this one. I need to score this one, even if it's not the perfect shot. And that's kind of the feel of the moment thing. I'm kind of joking with the bad shot, and then the next play he makes kind of the right play, and that was it's a great call, Nate. That's really kind of where, man, we're teetering, they're coming back, and he kind of took it over right there. Two great plays.
And then what did you think of Darius's night? It seemed like a little bit of an adventure with the early fouls, and then did he aggravate his toe injury?
Yeah,
What did you think of him overall?
he's just, I don't know. He's just playing through a lot of pain, quite honestly. To get him to play this game, let's just say there's a lot that goes into it, and he's kind of taken one for the team here, and. Like I do think the 2-0 situation, I think he had to push through a lot tonight. So hopefully he recovers. Even if we get 15, 20 minutes from him, we need it. We need another ball handler. He can create separation. He can create advantages, even if it's not going to be perfect with the way his health is right now. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Baby Jesus.
Wonder if they're gonna talk about 30 shots now, you know?
We needed to take one more.
Needed one more, right?
Up that winning percentage.
Facts. Jesus.
Chris.
Hey, Donovan. So they cut it to 11 in the fourth quarter, and then the arena is going crazy, and TJ McConnell's telling them to roar and stuff like that, and then you come out and accounted for the next 8. What did you sense in that moment?
Just a response. Understand that it's hard to blow a team out by 20 in their place. We saw that last game, even in our place. It's hard to be up 20. It's hard to keep a lead. It's hard. It's just hard in this league. Understanding who they are. They're not a team that's going to fold easily. And then, when they went on a run, accepting it, understanding it. And like I always tell you, like, how do you respond? Understanding it's not the end of the world. And we let one slip away at home in a similar fashion. So for me, couldn't let it happen again. And it wasn't just me. I know I scored, but we got stops, made plays, you know what I'm saying? So collective effort on that part. But for me, just trying to be aggressive and counter that run.
How would you characterize the impact that Max has had in this series so far?
Shoot, he had 27 and 7. He does it all. Did a phenomenal job on Tyrese and making it tough on him. sprinting for rebounds, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, picking up full court. I told him at one point, I was like, man, I'm a little windy. He's like, nah, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just who he is, man. And I go to war with a guy like that. And, you know, you see it on a night-to-night basis. And people always say, like, you know, what is his biggest attribute? You know, what's his best attribute? He's a winner. He's a competitor. He's a guy you want on your team and the guy you want to go to war with.
And Kenny said before the game that he didn't label this a must-win game. He just said, we need to lean into our identity. Did you consider this a must-win game?
1,000%. I know he didn't. I know definitely not the message, but for me and my mental, I didn't necessarily say that to everybody. I kind of kept that to myself because understanding that, hey, going down 3-0 here is tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this was a must-win. We let one slip at home. Let the fans down at home, man. So we got to, you know, find a way to bounce back, and we did. But ultimately, all we did was win one game. We got to do it again on Sunday.
Jamal.
Where did you feel the biggest boost from having the three guys return to the lineup?
I mean, you saw Evan Mobley on the blocking shots, on the glass, obviously his scoring, but just his presence down there along with J.A.'s, it just helps everybody. And then DG being able just to at least, you know, obviously he's banged up and he's playing through stuff, man, and we love that fighting spirit. But just being able to, you know, kind of bring the ball up and initiate offense and kind of do different things, making it easier on everybody. And then Dre, you know, doing what he does, being in the right spots, knocking down timely shots, being in the paint, you know, guarding the ball, not letting it get to the paint, like the different things. So, like I said this morning, it's great to have those guys back, but we got to do it again.
And just kind of how much fresher did you feel personally in the fourth quarter compared to the first two games?
I mean, yeah, you know, but like I always say, it's great to have them back, but my job is to help the team win, and you know, if it was 1-on-5, you know what I mean, that's my job. It's not, but like, you know, I think for me, obviously having those guys back is huge. They bring us a huge boost, bring me a huge boost, and like I said, I go to war with these guys. I trust everybody in this locker room, and you know, you saw it tonight, but ultimately, we got to do it again.
The combination of getting the win tonight and having those three guys back, do you feel like you're back in the series?
I mean, yeah, it was 2-1, but we haven't done anything. I mean, we won one game. You know, we got to do it again. It's been my message. I told them we're not celebrating, we're not smiling. We came here to take two games, and we did one. You know what I mean? Understanding that the next one's going to be the hardest game of the series. You know what I mean? And the next one after that's going to be the hardest game. So. Take it for what it is, and understand that, hey, we did a job, and we got to keep going.
Going back to the glass, like you were mentioning, Jay and Evan were really active, especially on the offensive glass. Just what kind of boost does that give the team when you're controlling the possession game like that? And obviously, it's something that has to really give a boost to the bench.
Yeah, I mean, when you get those extra possessions, it's huge. For that's been our motto pretty much all year. You know, trying to win it's different than what we did last year. You know, we're kind of getting back in transition, and against a team like that who likes to get out, you know, if you get those second possessions, it definitely is a game changer. And you know, J.A. was phenomenal when Ed was out, and he was phenomenal again. And then obviously having, you know, your all-star, your defensive player of the year, Evan Mobley back, like he was phenomenal as well. But the biggest message to them is like, all right, cool, we did it once, we gotta do it again.
And just a question on the 3-2 zone. That's something you threw in tonight, and obviously you had a solid effect. And Sam Merrill even played a big part in that too. Can you just kind of speak to the effectiveness of that move?
First of all, with Sam Merrill, man, I love that dude, man. Like, you know, obviously he was 1 of 5 tonight, but he's in that max court category, just a competitor. You know what I mean? I think one of y'all asked him about why he gets picked on defense, and he laughed. And, you know, I think for him, he takes that challenge. He gets mad at me for trying to switch up matchups. You know what I mean? He takes that, and you want a guy like that in your locker room. I love Sam. We all love him, love what he brings. And then, obviously, you know, he had, 20 the other night, 17, like just big nights. And he didn't really shoot it well tonight, but he did so many positive things throughout the game. So I want to give him his credit, you know, for that as well. And then the 3-2 zone, you know, Kenny brought it up and was like, hey, let's try to, you know, make some things. Obviously, we had foul trouble, which was huge. So kind of bought us a few possessions. We rebounded out the zone, which I think is huge. You know, we kind of scrambling around different things, but we rebounded well, which was great.
I know Darius is obviously hobbled and fighting through a lot of pain right now, but when he's on the floor with you, how much pressure does that alleviate from what you saw in the first couple of games in terms of what they're doing defensively against you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. You know, I mean, I think it allows me to, catch and shoot threes. I think I got a few of those, running in transition, not having always to come back to the ball. And, I told him 20% of you, 30% of you is all we need, man. Like, he's fighting and gutting it out. A lot of respect for him. But I'm a guy that's like, cool, do it again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the same thing. He said the same thing. Like this is great. I'm very happy that he's out there. He relieves, like you said, relieves a lot of pressure, but you need to win the recovery game and do it again on Sunday.
You mentioned that you came here to win 2. You've done half of that. Does it feel as if there's less pressure now because of that?
Nope. We got a job to do. I can't say because we got halfway and you can kind of relax. No, we got to keep our foot on the throttle and understand that they're going to be just even more aggressive, even more physical next game, and we got to be able to withstand that and counterpunch as well.
Hey Donovan, after you had that 8-2 run after they cut it to 11, and you had that assist to Max, it looked like you came over the bench and were kind of like this. What was your message to the guys in that moment?
Stay here. We did our job. We weathered their storm. Don't let them counter that. Like, you know what I mean? I think that was the biggest message. There was about, I don't know how much time was it, maybe like 5-6 minutes left. We countered that. Now, don't let them do the same thing. I've told you all year, the biggest thing is how do you respond to success? How do you respond to failure? We had some success on that little run. Don't let them come back. Don't let the crowd get back into it. And we did a phenomenal job to end the game as a group.
And then speaking of response, when you guys took a big punch like you did in Game 2 with the way that ended, what were the conversations like leading up to Game 3 that made you feel like you guys were going to respond the right way?
A lot of positives. I said that this morning, I think you can't let a minute and a half, minute 50 seconds deter you from the good of what we did. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of things we looked at and saw that we did really well. Obviously force and energy, and obviously you add those 3 guys back, it changes things, but there's a lot of things we did well, and we just got to continue to do that. And I think that was pretty much the message. And like I said after the game, it's like, all right, it happened. We blew the game. Cool. We got to figure out we got to figure out how to win the game.
Donovan, they had 4 technical fouls in the second half. The crowd was angry. Can you guys feed off that frustration, or do you feed off it?
I don't think we really feed into. Understand that we got the free throws, and that's that. But we just got to go out there and handle business. Whether they got the text or not, we got to go out there and keep our head on straight and kind of stay with the tunnel vision. Jeez. Stay with the tunnel vision, man. That's my biggest thing. I don't care if they got 18 technical fouls. Doesn't mean anything. Me and Sam got to make our free throws. I tried to give him one, and I gave him some shit for it. So I missed 2. You know what I'm saying? But we got to capitalize. It don't matter what else is going on around us. We have tunnel vision. Stay locked in and handle business.
And then Ty's had a couple rough games. What can you do as the leader, as a teammate, to get him out, or does he just have to play out of it?
Play out of it. I'm not worried about Ty Jerome, man. He's shown us all year who he is. Showed us in the first round. This is just not making shots right now. That's fine. Understand hey, it's coming. You know what I mean? He works hard. He's in the gym. It's not like, he's not putting in the work. I've seen this my whole life with him. So understanding that, hey, you don't need to overdo it with, patting him on the back. Just say, hey, you're good. This is what you do. It's coming. Because we all believe in him. And nothing to worry. He'll respond, and we'll be ready. Thank you.
Okay. Ev, can you take us through the last couple days in terms of how bad the ankle was and when you started to know that you might be able to do this?
Yeah, first day, couldn't really put pressure on it at all. First day was in a boot, and then from there it progressed. Could put pressure on the second day. Was doing as much treatment rehab as I can, and next day could put put like real pressure on it, and from there just played it by ear. We got on like treadmill in the water, see how I could push off and stuff like that, and yeah, the next few days it got better, gradually better, and now it's pretty good, I would say.
And then to go from all that though to the not only the numbers you put up, but like sort of the tangible impact that you made just with your presence. Were you surprised at all with how well you were able to play and move and impact the game, just given how your ankle felt?
Not really. I knew if I was going to come out there and play, I'm going to have to be able to do certain things, and I felt pretty comfortable, especially yesterday, and then shoot around today felt good as well. So I was pretty confident coming out here, and just came out here and played my game.
Spence.
Can you speak to how critical it was to control the glass tonight? I think you guys out-rebounded them in offensive glass by like 15.
Yeah, I mean, every night, that's a big factor in winning games. And we've been doing that all year, and just trying to crash the glass as many times as we can, especially when the shot goes up. And I feel like everyone was doing it today. Me, Jay, Max, the guards, everybody.
What's it like to watch Donovan push you to the finish line tonight, especially after what happened in game 2? You saw him give it his all. He's cramping up at the end of the game, and then tonight, still putting a team on his back, and this time coming out on top.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great leader right there. He knows what he's doing out there, and we had guys come back, and which helped him save his legs, I feel like, a little bit, and so he could take us home at the end. And I mean, that's what he does. That's what he's in the game for.
Danny.
Evan, when did you know that you would be able to play tonight?
I really wanted to play the first one, but definitely couldn't. But after that loss, I wanted to get back as soon as possible and get out there. So I was just basically day to day, seeing how it felt, how quick I heal. Normally heal pretty quick, and from there just played it by ear.
In the second quarter, this game flipped. You guys held them to 13 points. You played a lot of zone in that quarter, and it was a different zone than what you guys spent much of this season playing. Why did you think that 3-2 zone was so successful tonight?
I think we switched it up. We've been playing man this whole entire series, and I don't think they expected it. And it's also a defense we haven't really ran ourselves that much, and that I feel like that threw them off. They had to adjust and see where they can score from, and by that time that they adjusted, it was already pretty late.
Chris.
Evan, did tonight feel more like you guys? And if so, what do you think the difference was?
Yeah, I feel like the past two games felt like us. It's just last game we just didn't finish strong. This game felt like us just all the way through, and we finished strong. They made a push there at the end, and I feel like everyone stayed composed, got exactly what we wanted on offense, and then kept playing pretty good defense.
And then Kenny said that Max has raised his level, and seeing that a lot of you guys are trying to do the same thing. In what way do you feel like Max has taken on that kind of role, and in what way has that helped you throughout this playoff run?
He's just a leader, a natural leader. Every time he steps on the floor, he wants to win, and whatever he sees out there, he's very vocal and lets all of us know what he thinks. He's also been there before, so his experience just outweighs a lot of things, and he just shares his experiences and tries to bring us up to the same level as him.
Hey, Evan, I know every situation's different with an injury, and you and Darius and DeAndre are all going through much different things, but was there any kind of like emotional or mental advantage to having a couple teammates also trying to get back with you as soon as possible? Were you guys able to support each other in that way at all?
Yeah, for sure. We're all just checking in on each other, see how everyone's rehab is going and what it's trending towards. And I feel like the whole team really just had our backs and knew what we were going through. And just a part of playoffs. I mean, guys get injured, and you got to try and get back as soon as possible. And today was the day, and I feel like it was a good time to come back.
And then very early in the game, you had a really impressive block shot. What did that do for you? Like, did that help you ease in, feel comfortable and confident, trust the ankle? Like, what was there anything to that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just playing my game. It was a nice block. Just kept playing and just try to let the game come to me. A little rusty, I feel like, in the first few minutes, but game started flowing and just let it come to me, and I started knocking down and making plays that I normally make.
Jackson.
Evan, you guys were running a lot of the 3-2 zone your rookie year with you at the top. You guys did that again today. What makes you so effective in that role when you're up top of that zone?
I think it's my length and just trying to deter their passes. They try to get it to the middle a lot of the times, and my length can kind of mess with them. And also, I feel like the backside has done a great job because I have Jay back there as well. So it's two bigs, one on the ball and then one in the back. So it's a tough defense to solve, and we'll see how they try and solve it.
You guys are coming. You guys, it's a 2-1 series now. You guys want to take both of them. What's your confidence level going into Game 4?
Pretty confident. Played 2 good games, I feel like, and we just got to compound that and make it 3, and then finish strong. That's the main thing.
Last one over on the left side.
Evan, what do you think you all did to kind of turn Tyrese's water off tonight? 4 points, 5 assists.
I think Max did a great job, and all the guards just did a great job of denying him the ball, and right when we score, just getting to his body as quick as possible and not letting him touch it as much as possible. And that's been the game plan so far, and I feel like those guys have been doing a great job of it.
Okay, gonna wrap it up. Thank you.
Yep.